We are 100 years old, which is a great thing to celebrate. But as members and people who enjoy and work for HF Holidays, we also say we're 100 years young.
In 1891, and T.A. Leonard was a congregational minister in Colne in Lancashire, and he decided it would be a good idea to take a group of people up onto the moors and tell them a little bit about what life's really like in the countryside. This thing took off and people got very interested, and more people wanted to be involved. It ran from there till 1912, when Leonard thought we've gone a little bit away from our original idea. And in 1913, Holiday Fellowship came into being.
In 1914, we organised for people to go on a tour trip abroad, a walking trip to Germany. Unfortunately, with the breakout of the First World War, two didn't quite make it home and were interned for the whole length of the First World War. That is the longest holiday that anybody's ever had with the Holiday Fellowship, or HF Holidays as we are now.
The organisation prospered and flourished and went right through to the Second World War. Later on, we then set about European, worldwide destinations even, and at the same time, our UK properties were beginning to become quite magnificent.
I remember packing the trunk. You know, you really have to cast your mind back and say, well, how did we do this? We used to pack this trunk about a week before the holiday, and that went off by train. Passenger luggage in advance, it was called. There were 3 or 4 important ingredients which haven't changed. One is the sense of being together in a group. Leonard had this rather clever idea, I think, right at the start, that we would sit at larger tables, a communal meal with tables for more than 4. The second key ingredient was we go walking together, and in a 3-hour walk you can talk to everybody.
The magic is the exercise, the excitement of coming to a new house, meeting all these new people and getting to know them.
The third key ingredient is the countryside itself. We've always had the houses in places where you could quickly get out to walk.
Well, what I enjoy besides the company is, of course, the exercise and the excitement of going up strange hills or challenging hills, and the lovely houses where the HF Holidays originate from.
And the last one, I would say, is a sense of fun. There'll be an element of the unexpected, an element of the entertaining, and I think that's always been there from the very start. Those things are still there, those ingredients, and I think that's what's made it last.
Just a good memory of being absolutely drenched, and it was just streams all the way down the hill, and my rucksack had to get thrown across, and then I was thrown across separately because I couldn't, it was too small to jump.
You get carried by me, don't you, Holly? I carry her, and then every now and again she says, I want to jump out and I want to walk.
I first went on these holidays in 1953 when I was 3. My dad and mother took me, and I think actually our grandparents went. It was probably their first holiday with HF Holidays, but they went along as well. And so it goes back almost as long as I can remember.
When you're in a normal hotel, you sort of feel like an outsider still, whereas I go and you get to know the staff, you get to know everyone else who's there, and it's just like almost like a big family with people that you've never met before, and that's just a really nice atmosphere.
I suppose just because you've got this structure around you of having the mountain leader, sort of their equivalent, and having somebody who's just certain that they know what they're doing and is experienced, you just can push yourself so much further, and it just doesn't even feel like an effort, you know, it's just so enjoyable, everybody's so sociable and friendly, and the mixture of being able to talk and walk and just switch off from everything else is quite surprising, really.
I think over the 100 years you have to look at the number of members we have now, and we have 33,000 members, some of whom have been a 3rd generation, 4th generation even of membership. And I think when you think about, you multiply that by 100 years of people coming to our houses, walking, nowadays going abroad as well and walking, and you have to say, how many people have we touched and how many people keep coming back, which I think is the proof of the pudding.
Well, I'd like Holly and Alistair to continue to become more and more involved with HF, really. Obviously, initially we have to take them along and take them on the walks, but I think more and more they're developing their own interest in the mountains. You know, he's getting his Munro charts and ticking off little blocks.
We got on this train, and it was like a little carriage that went up a really steep hill, and the bottom of it was tilted, but the floor was still straight, so the track was going upwards and it just went, yeah.
Is Holly helping you answer the question?
No.
We feel honoured and pleased that he would choose us to come and share a little time with us and part of our celebration.
This is our chairman, Andrew Dix.
I didn't know until a fortnight before Prince Charles came that it was to be His Royal Highness. For him to come here while we had guests here on a walking holiday was wonderful for the guests.
So where's home now?
Nearly Morland.
At Morland?
Yeah. Perhaps we'll see you there sometime.
If I'm still alive.
Or if I'm still able to walk.
I think it signifies that what we are and what we're going to be, he sees of value to the community. So to mark the occasion, I would like to invite you to have a look at this lovely cake, and if you would be care to make an incision. Excellent, thank you.
Such a thrill, and he seemed to show such an interest in what we did, the fact that we're a members organisation, the fact that we've been going for 100 years, and the fact that it reflects so many of the interests that he has in the great outdoors. Such an honour, and today's been a real milestone in the history of HF Holidays.
I believe that T.A. Leonard was with us today. His first reaction would be delight that something he set up 100 years ago is still active and vibrant and relevant.
Leonard certainly was a man who wanted people to enjoy life, enjoy the outdoors. It sounds a bit corny, but he wanted people to be nice to each other.
The first 100 years involved us taking 5 million people on the sort of holidays that we offer. What's the next 100 years? I think it'll be more than 5 million, and it'll be the same sort of holiday, but delivered, of course, to the expectations and the standards that people in the future will want. I believe he would be proud. He would feel a certain inner satisfaction that he and his friends set something up that not only survived 100 years and protected the ethos that he thought was so important, but was in a strong position to be going into its next 100 years. That's what I think he would think.